get more on the questions about the Prime Minister's tax affairs with money-saving experts Martin Lewis. Very good afternoon to you, Martin. Thanks for joining us this afternoon on Sky News. Now, so as a person who spends his life helping people make savings on a daily basis, legitimately, I mean, looking back at the last week, I mean, how has this whole tax affair, this whole saga sat with you?
Well, certainly, when people deliberately manipulate rules, they hide the money they've got and they put them offshore, it's dodgy and potentially criminal. I'm very proud to pay tax. I'm lucky enough to have paid a seven-figure sum last year on my tax bill. That means I earned a shed load of money. I earned even more, and there's nothing wrong with that, with legitimate taxation. But when I read the newspapers today, castigating what is legitimate tax planning in the form of inheritance tax, potentially exempt transfers from David Cameron's mother to him. Well, you know, there's a little bit of hypocrisy here because the money pages of those same newspapers regularly publish that these are the things that you should be doing in a legitimate way to reduce your tax bill. And I think part of the problem is the language. We seem to just be delineating here between tax avoidance and tax evasion. Well, actually, I think there are three: tax planning, tax avoidance, tax evasion. Let me give you some definitions. The easy one, tax evasion. It's illegal, nobody should do it. You've then got avoidance and planning. Now, I would say planning is when there are government-encouraged schemes that are designed to get you to behave in a certain way. Saving in an ISA, investing in a company you wouldn't with an enterprise investment scheme. And that includes inheritance tax planning, marriage tax allowance, childcare vouchers. That's tax planning. And to use the pejorative term avoidance for it is ridiculous. To call it dodgy, which some newspapers have, is even worse. Then you've got avoidance. It's legal, but it's manipulative, it's immoral, and it's trying to deprive the exchequer of revenue in a way that it was never designed to. That's wrong. Of course, there are nuances at the boundaries of all of these, but the language is starting to call, what are we going to have next? Headline, David Cameron saving tax avoidance by putting his money in an ISA. This is nonsense. It's bad financial education across the nation. It will discourage people to put money in charities because that's seen as tax avoidance too. There we go. The gods of the wind coming down saying this is wrong too. And we need to start thinking about the language that we use so we don't discourage real people who are out there from putting their money in the right places and doing what's right for them with some type of spurious idea that it's immoral doing tax planning. Avoidance, don't do. Evasion, don't do. Planning, keep going.